Hi everyone, it is Christina Pridie here, better known as the Seamless Knitter here on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. You can find all of my seamless pattern designs on Ravelry and on my website, ptboyarnshop.com. I also have a Ko-Fi account if you would like to support me and my channel financially. All this information is linked in the description box below this video. In today's tutorial, I will be demonstrating how I do Icord. So let's get started. So back in the day, when I was in grade 4, we used to do corking. People call it corking. Today we call it Icord. But back in the day we used a corker to make Icord. So this is the tool that we used back in the day to make corking, and you might remember this, some of you. So this is the corker, and on the top you'll see 4 pegs, and the yarn is down through the center and out at the bottom. So this is some worsted weight yarn that I'm using, and this is the tool that you would use to do this by hand. So you would just follow these instructions that are on this spool knitter instructions to do the corking. And after you would get wrapped around on the pegs, you would start to do the corking, and eventually every time you pulled it out at the bottom, the I-cord, or the yeah, I guess you could call it I-cord, would come out through the bottom, and it would just get longer and longer and longer. And then you could make things with it, like hot pads and chair seat covers, you know, flowers, bracelets, what have you. Back in the day, we used to just do whatever we could with it, but it was just fun doing it. And one thing about it is it makes a tube. So when you change color after you're finished one ball of yarn, and you just added a new ball of yarn and just knotted it together, and the knot would go down in the center of the tube, and you wouldn't have to tuck or weave any ends in. So it was fun. And now they have a manual one. Well, that's manual. This is sort of like one that you can crank. So this is one that you can purchase, a magic cord machine, and this is what it looks like when it comes out the bottom hole. The I-cord just gets longer and longer. So you can see at the top here, and you would just crank this by hand like this, and the I-cord would form and come out the bottom. So that's one that you can do and purchase. But now they have these electronic ones now that you can just push a button and out comes this I-cord, and you can make miles and miles of it to use however you like. So here's a pair of knitted pants that has an I-cord run through a casing as a drawstring for the pair of pants. So you can see it's just a knitted tube, and it's a good way to use the I-cord, whether it's through a casing, maybe drawstrings for around a collar or a hoodie, and you can use it to make ties for hats. You can also do it around the collar, cuffs, and hem of a sweater. So there's so many different ways you can use I-cord. One way that I thought I would use it in the future would be to have a canvas and then draw some things on it and use the I-cord and trace over it with I-cord as a 3-dimensional piece of artwork, and just glue gun it on to the canvas and hang it up. So that's one way of doing it as well. But today I'm going to show you how to do the I-cord just with knitting needles. So I'm just going to push this out of the way so it's not in the view of the camera. So I'm just going to use my circular needles here, but you can use double pointed needles. but you basically need a needle. You can't use straights because there's ends on it. You need to use something like a circular needle with a cord or double pointed needles to do this. So I've just got some chunky yarn here to make it quicker so you can see how it's done. So what I'm going to do is just make a I'm going to cast on stitches. So I don't use slip knot or anything like that. So I'm just going to do the long tail cast on technique for this. You can use whatever cast on that you would like to do it, but this is, you don't really need to know anything fancy. So I'm just going to start and do a long tail cast on. And basically I'm just going to cast on 3 stitches to start. Now you can cast on as many stitches as you want and make the I-cord as thick as you'd like. But 3 is good to start. You can do 4 or 6 or however many you would like, depending on what you're using it for. So I've cast on 3 stitches here, as you can see. And now I am going to slide these stitches to the other end. You can see that my working yarn is off the back last stitch that I cast on, so it's on to the left. I'm going to slide my stitches down to the other end of the needle and bring my needle up here and the stitches on it from this end. So you're casting on and you're sliding your stitches to the other end. So the yarn that you can see, the working yarn, is on the back here. So on the back left last stitch. So now we're just going to knit these stitches, and what you're going to do is pull up tight on that very first stitch, because what you're doing is dragging the yarn, the working yarn, from the last stitch across the back of the 3 stitches and knitting them tightly. And what's going to happen is it's going to start to form a tube. It's going to go around and around and around and form this tube. So I'm just going to knit those 3 stitches. So after you knit your 3 stitches, again, you're going to slide those stitches to the other end. And again, you're going to knit these stitches. So in a few minutes here, you're going to see what's happening every time you knit the 3 stitches and then slide them to the other end. Knit the 3 stitches and slide them to the other end. So now I'm pulling on this tail end, and you can already start to see the I-cord forming. So we'll just do a few more of these so you get an idea. Just going to knit these 3 again, and you just keep repeating this until you get the length of I-cord that you want for your project. So I'm sliding them down to the other end and knitting them again. Pulling them tightly, the stitches, at least the first stitch tightly, so that it can draw around in a circle from the back. As you can see, the yarn will always be attached to the last stitch, and it's going to be dragged across the back like that when you knit the first one, and it's forming the tube. And because the tube is hollow, it's very easy to hide your ends into the tube when you're finished. So you would just take a tapestry needle and you would just take this tail end and you would just put it through the bottom and just bring it through the tube and out somewhere, and it'll be hidden inside. So you don't have to weave in any ends. So here we go again. So I'm just going to knit these 3 again. And you can see how much I've got done already. And that is the tube forming, and that's your tail end. And you can see by looking on the other side, it's a complete tube there. So there's 3 stitches that I have on. So all the way around you would see the knit stitch and another knit stitch all the way around. And it's just a nice round plump I-cord. And you would just continue doing that until you are finished. And then when you're finished, you can just cut your yarn and take a tapestry needle and run it through the last few stitches. And when you're finished tying it off, you can just run your yarn back down through the tube and it's complete. And you can have a nice cord to put through a casing of your work or your hoodie or whichever you want to use it for. So there you have it. If you found this tutorial helpful, please save it to watch later, share it with your friends, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell to be notified of my next video or tutorial release. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below this video, and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you for watching and supporting my channel. Happy knitting.